Okay, class, we're just going to review really quick what we already learned in class about angles. Remember, we learned there's three kinds of angles. There's a right angle, there's less than a right angle, and greater than a right angle. So here's the right angle. Remember, the right angle makes a perfect corner, just like the corner of our paper. If it's bigger, then we call it greater than a right angle. And if it's closer or smaller, then we call it less than a right angle. Today in your homework, you're going to be asked to find how many angles or what kind of angles are in a shape. So if we look at this shape right here, we want to look and see how many right angles. So we look right here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 right angles. Now sometimes this is pretty easy to see that those make 4 perfect corners. Those are right angles. Sometimes it's hard to see. If we come over to this shape, we want to know how many right angles on this shape. Well, sometimes it's hard to tell. I'm going to show you a trick. If you have a sticky note or another piece of paper, you can put that piece of paper line it up on one side of the angle, and you can see if it lines up perfectly. I'll draw a dotted line here so we can see. That would not be a right angle. That would be less than a right angle. We could check over here, and we see that those red lines go right along perfect with the corner of our paper. We know that that is a right angle. This shape has one right angle. Now, if you don't have a sticky note or an extra piece of paper, you can always just tear the corner of your paper, your assignment, your homework right off, just like that. That will give you a perfect right angle. So you can always have a tool to check and see how many right angles each shape has. And I'll know it's just fine to tear that off. So there's a review of how we find what kind of angles and how many right angles are in a shape.